Chicago's Morning Answer continues now on AM 560, The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Where else in the world would you see Hulk Hogan up there and he ripped off his shirt and he had a Trump shirt underneath, followed up by Billy Graham? I don't know about the evangelicals or our Republicans. They might have been scratching their head. Yeah, here's the Hulkster.
Yeah.
Love this guy.
But what happened last week when they took a shot at my hero and they tried to kill the next president of the United States? Enough was enough. And I said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother. Let Trumpomania rule again. Let Trumpomania make America great again.
It was just vibrant, and it was 4 days of really, I've never seen the Republican Party be so unified.
Yeah.
And Trump was so humbled. I tweeted out, God has blessed Trump, and he has blessed him with humility.
Yeah.
Because that's what his speech was all about.
Trump needs to hire Hulk Hogan as his hype man. And the rest of his
really?
speeches.
He has an event this Saturday with J.D. Vance in Michigan, and thank God it's an indoor event.
Yeah.
But with this Secret Service, I mean, hopefully they gave him a few more agents.
Well, they did, and thank God,
RFK detector.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. now has Secret Service protection as well. He should have had it. His last name is Kennedy alone. That should have given him Secret Service protection.
Okay, before we get to the meat and potatoes, Kid Rock.
What up, America? If you're ready for President Trump to take the stage, I need everybody to stand up. I need everybody to put a fist up in the air.
And half the white people are like, what do I do?
Now follow me.
I love Kid Rock.
Say fight, fight. Say fight, fight. Say fight, fight. Say somebody scream.
Okay, and then you saw it. It's just always uncomfortable to watch some people, in a double-breasted suit representing, say, like Utah or Mississippi, and they're trying to go to the beat, and they show cutaways of people trying to find their soul when it comes to music.
Yeah, that's you white people mostly. Y'all have no rhythm. Exactly. There's no rhythm.
And then Trump's kids were trying to dance, and
yeah. I love Kid Rock. Kid Rock is like I told you, I've been to a concert of Kid Rock. It is an experience. Pam Roth, who I replaced as state rep, when she was leaving, she took us all to a Kid. She loves Kid Rock, and I've always loved him. But going to his concert is an experience. But Amy, this was a very eclectic convention. You had people from all walks of life, and Republicans are normally, starchy and.
It's not your grandparents' Republican Party anymore.
This was a party. This was a celebration.
It was a celebration of life, and it was a celebration of Trump and Trump's policies.
Yes, it was.
With more on this, let's welcome back to the program our very good friend, Stephen Moore, noted economist and author of Govzilla. Good morning, Mr. Moore. How are you?
Good morning, guys. Well, I think you summarized the convention pretty well. I mean, I was there in Milwaukee, and it was electrifying. It was. I've been to, I think, 5 previous conventions, and they're not my favorite thing, by the way. I mean, it's a little too much politics for me, but it was of all the conventions that I've been to, this one was clearly the people were the most pumped up, and in a lot of the previous conventions, there's been some division in the party, and it really doesn't exist anymore. It is amazing to me that it is right now Donald Trump's party. I guess maybe Hulk Hogan. What about Hulk Hogan for defense secretary?
Oh, yes, let's do it.
I'm thinking Ron DeSantis or maybe somebody else. But so you were there in Milwaukee. Did you, because we haven't spoken to you since the assassination attempt, have you spoken directly with President Trump?
I have not, although I saw him right before the convention and before he was shot. But all the folks that I talk to who work very closely with him every day say that there's a new humility in Donald Trump. Look, when you suffer a near-death experience, it changes your outlook on life. I mean, it just naturally does. And anyone who has had a near-death experience knows exactly what I'm talking about. I wanted to say one thing because, I've been honored in my life to work for, I think, two of the greatest presidents of the last 50 years, Ronald Reagan and Donald Trump. And, when I heard the news on Saturday of Trump, I was actually on the tennis court. We're playing tennis in late Saturday afternoon, and I get this call from one of my associates saying Trump had been shot, and my heart sank, and it made me think of when I was in, I don't know if you guys remember, March of 1981, when the news hit the news waves that Ronald Reagan had been shot in front of the Hilton Hotel.
I was home from school sick. I'll never forget it, and I was just
I won't
heartbroken.
Either. Yeah, I was in college at the time, and the thing that people I'm not an especially religious man, although my wife calls me a country club Catholic. But if it's both those bullets, if the bullet that hit Reagan had been 1 inch over closer to his heart, he would have died. He almost did die from that assassination attempt.
Oh yeah.
And if this bullet had been 1 inch over, he would have died too. And maybe it was the finger of God that moved these bullets away from their head and heart. And maybe it was. I heard one of the preachers say that it wasn't their time. The country needed Ronald Reagan in 1981, and I think the country desperately needs Donald Trump now. So anyway, but I do hear that he's reflecting more on and look, a little humility from Trump I think is a good thing, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and he only mentioned Biden's name, I think once by accident, right?
No, yeah,
or twice.
No, I thought that was fantastic. I love that. And by the way, Lord, what the hell is going on the Democratic side of the aisle now? It seems to change every hour.
Oh no, you can't separate from the news, especially during this time. Yeah, the pressure is mounting for him to.
He's out.
Stepped up. Well, even his favorite show, Morning Joe, Morning Mutiny, because now they're even starting to admit that he might have to step down here and listen to this.
The Dems need to get it together. They really need to get whatever they've got going. It may or may not be Joe Biden. I trust Joe Biden's abilities. I also trust Nancy Pelosi's political acumen. Nobody knows politics more than her, and nobody more than Nancy Pelosi. She does not get out there without information to back it up. She doesn't take risks, and she knows her politics. She knows her numbers.
Now, Stephen Moore, why did you find that funny?
Well, just because, come on. First of all, Biden is look, I don't think Biden was mentally fit to run for president in 2020. Remember what they did, you guys. Remember they said, oh, God, it can't be Bernie Sanders. We're going to have to go with somebody else. They handpicked Joe Biden. And then what did they do after they handpicked Joe Biden? Remember what they did for the next 9 months?
He was in his basement. Yeah, and then he'd have 2 or 3. I just remember one campaign stop where people were in their cars, and he was up on a stage outdoors wearing a mask.
Yeah.
And then they picked
Kamala
Harris to get.
So by the way, speaking of which, I don't know if you followed this little mini controversy from some of the liberals saying, oh, you don't really have to wear a bandage on your ear. He says,
oh, yeah, no. Yeah.
And by the way, what's so funny about this is these are the same people who out in the middle of being outside still wear masks. And they're saying that Trump is the one who's being a hypochondriac. I mean, it is almost comical. But look, I think the Democrats have a big problem because obviously next in line is Kamala. But Kamala is incredibly unpopular. She's incompetent. She was the one, just to remind, I think most of your listeners know this, but what was her major job as vice president.
No, to take care of the border crisis.
Exactly. Wonderful job. I don't think did she ever even go to the border.
I don't. Well, she went
I
there,
think
but
she
she
went
didn't.
once, right?
Yeah, but she didn't go to the hot spots.
Correct.
She just met with people in like cushy Tucson.
She didn't go to the places where the actual illegal immigrants were coming over the border. But so what are they going to do? I mean, there's a lot of talk that they might try to switch over to Gavin Newsom. And what's really ironic about this is, look, I think Joe Biden, is obviously not fit to be president. But the fact is, all these Democratic people, the apparatchiks, they said, go out and vote for Joe Biden, in earlier this year. He's got to be our nominee. So, 15 or 20 million people went out and voted for Joe Biden. Never mind. We're going to go back to the smoke-filled rooms, and we're going to decide for ourselves who the nominee is. And screw you. We don't care about the 15 million people who voted for Biden. I mean, it's really. And then they say we're the danger to democracy.
Yeah. Hey, Stephen, this is the third time in less than 2 weeks you and I have been together. People are going to start thinking we're friends, man.
I know. I mean, rumors are being spread around.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, Stephen Moore, we're up against the clock, but always a pleasure having you on. Stephen Moore, noted economist and author of Godzilla.
And what's with our friend Dan? Is he on permanent vacation now? I mean, my gosh, the guy.
You probably knew before I did that he was going to be off today. So
too soon.
Kudos to you. Oh,
too soon. Too soon.
All right, Stephen Moore, thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my